Welcome back to Floor 27. Hi, friend. It's me, your host, Siposihle Chapter. And yes, we are back with visuals. We are back for season 2 of Floor 27, and we have visuals, babe. We have visuals. So it has been a long time coming. I actually can't believe that I'm here today, and I just can't believe that this is where we are. And I'm so excited. And I have to start this episode off with thanking everybody who has supported this platform, who has been a follower of Floor 27, who has listened into every episode, who has listened to me grow, who has shared positive and reinforcing messages of encouraging messages rather with me on the Floor 27 socials, my personal platforms, on Spotify, in the comment section, on Apple Podcasts. I am eternally grateful for all the love and all the support. And you are literally the materialization of my dream. Like everybody who follows this podcast and everybody who has been listening in, you are you are the audience, you are the community that I dreamed of. You are literally the materialization of my dream. And I cannot thank you enough for your support and your presence. And we are here now. So I took a bit of a break, 3 weeks break, because I was like, hey, one, I was actually a bit exhausted, to be honest. I started recording for Floor 27 first week of January, and if you are a true Floor 27 follower, actually, you'll know this. I did a 21-day challenge where I posted episodes every day for 21 days. I did that throughout January. I posted throughout February. So ever since this year started, I've been creating content, posting for Floor 27. And I was feeling a bit of like creative fatigue, for the lack of a better word. And so I was like, you know what? Let me take some time off and let me just like pour into my cup. This is one thing about this platform. It's literally about taking it slow. It's about tapping into your true sense and really doing what honors you and what makes you feel the most at home within your body and what makes you feel the most reassured within your journey. So I was like, you know what? I've done really well and I deserve a little bit of a break. So I took 3 weeks off, spent some time with family, spent some time reading, listening to the word of God, and just pouring back into my cup. And when it was time to come back, God literally showed up, you guys, because I found this beautiful studio that is overlooking the Indian Ocean. Guys, I'm literally looking out at the Indian Ocean right now. It's massive. It's beautiful. Like the space is everything that Floor 27 is. If you are a day one and you've been following Floor 27 from the very beginning, you'll know I used to do these audio clips and I would attach like aesthetic videos to them. And this is what those videos would literally look like. And the fact that right now I'm literally in a farm that is in the middle of nowhere on the garden route, looking out at the Indian Ocean, recording the visuals for my podcast is absolutely crazy. Like I'm literally living in my dream. And I guess that's just what happens. You know what? I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves when it comes to our dreams and the things that we want to do. And that pressure is good. That pressure is to push us and to make sure that we don't stay comfortable and to make sure that we grow and we satisfy the full potential that we have within us. But I think we we tend to underestimate how much power lies within the concept of rest. How much power lies in rest and how much potential builds up during your period of rest and how much realignment happens during your period of rest. And just to take that time off to listen to God and to say, hey, you put this thing in my heart, and I went ahead and I took that first leap of faith, and we're here now. And I still want to hear from you. I still want to know from you, what do you want me to do with this platform? Where do you want me to go with this dream that you've trusted me with? What do you want me to do with this land that you have entrusted me with? How do I steward that which you have given me well? And that is what my 3 weeks of rest really was, and God really showed up. I randomly came here at like 7 a.m. in the morning. I actually was just looking for a place and a space that I could come to reset and to really just find myself. So I'm on the internet, I'm busy searching, and I find this absolutely gorgeous farm that is literally on the toes of this mountain. I don't know if this is like a mountain or what exactly it is, but it's literally on the toes, like literally just by the Indian Ocean, overlooking the Indian Ocean. I was like, this is the most beautiful, most serenic, most beautiful place I've ever been to. So I came here for yoga actually in the morning. I came here for aerial yoga. Maybe I'll insert a clip somewhere here. It was absolutely stunning. And as I was doing yoga, the Holy Spirit was like, I want you to record your podcast here. And I was like, absolutely yes. It's everything that I am, and it's everything that the platform Floor 27 is. And I was like, absolutely yes, you know. So I came back, I booked the space, and I actually decided that what I'd do is, because one thing about me, I'm going to break the mold. One thing about me, I'm going to break the mold. I've decided that geez, I don't know. It could be that I'm overthinking it, but I've really decided that I don't really enjoy the studio typical setup for podcasts where it's a chair here, there's another chair there, big mics, and every single week we shoot here in the same setting, same theme. If you know me, you know how much I love traveling and I love experiencing new spaces. I love design. I love beauty. I love exploring. I'm literally always on the road. So I've decided that from a visual perspective, I'm going to create a traveling podcast. So the visuals for this podcast are going to be everywhere in this country, everywhere on this continent, and everywhere in the world. And I'm manifesting that. I am proclaiming that. I am putting it out in the world. We're going to have so many more of these spaces and so many more scenes like these where we're just going to explore. We're going to explore every beautiful place that we find and where the Holy Spirit directs me. And we're going to shoot literally everywhere. This is the traveling podcast. We're never going to be shooting in one place. We're going to travel. We're going to explore. We're going to find new places and we're going to have fun and we're going to do it together. And this is the very first one. And it's so exciting for me. Like, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. It's so refreshing to take a shot at your dreams, to bet on yourself, to be like, hey, I'm doing it. I'm doing it scared. I'm doing it confused. I'm doing it whether I have it figured out or not. I'm just doing it. You know, I'm just trusting God. I'm just, because honestly, what do you have to lose? And on that note, I actually just want to kind of marry everything that I've said. By the way, that all of that was my intro. That's all just me welcoming you back to Floor 27. I am besides myself with excitement. Like dreams, my dreams are so exciting to me. And I think the exciting thing is that God actually trusted me enough to give me these big dreams. And then I trusted myself enough to give myself and to afford myself the opportunity of experiencing those dreams. There is nothing that is more empowering and fulfilling than that. And I want to call today's episode So Selfish, because if it weren't for a little bit of selfishness, I actually would not have made it here. I had to be selfish with myself. I had to be selfish with my dreams. I had to be selfish with my story. I had to get up and say, hey, I'm going to take a chance on me. I'm literally going to take a chance on me. And I think it was such a big move for me because growing up a girl child, I've definitely been historically, historically feels like such a big word for this. Like, it feels so exaggerated, but I've definitely been historically taught to neglect myself. I think girl children are definitely brought up to completely disconnect within themselves um, for the comfortability of everybody else, right? So I like to think of how growing up as a girl child, your first toy is a doll, right? And you have to nurture this doll, you have to take care of this doll, you have to give of yourself to this doll. And when you look at that kind of relationship between a little girl and a doll, the relationship between the girl and the doll as a girl child is you have to pour and nurture into that doll and give of yourself. And it's one of the most primary ways that girl children are introduced to interacting with the world and what life looks like for you as a girl, you know? And I think we kind of grow up with this. I think of situations and scenarios like home setups and chores, right? I learned to cook, I think, at the age of 11, 12, you know, and that is actually a big responsibility to give a child. I was not just accountable for myself, but I'd have to come back to school, from school, and be accountable for everybody in the household. Because if you're cooking dinner, you're actually accountable for everybody going to bed with a full stomach that evening. I remember I was definitely taught earlier than my brother how to even wash our uniforms. I'd come back, I'd have to wash our uniform, I'd have to start cooking before my mom comes back from work. So I think when I think of the foundation of how I grew up and how girl children are brought up, we are really taught to give of ourselves from a very young age before we actually have any sense of full actualization and full conceptualization of who we are. We have to give, you know, before we have any full understanding of what we have within ourselves and what we have within our cup. We're taught to pour into other people, to pour into the next person. And the idea of selfishness, I think, for women can be one that is so liberating because it deconstructs all of that. It deconstructs how we've been taught to put ourselves second and everybody else first, right? And I think one of the things that made me so scared when it comes to pursuing my podcast, knowing how much I love this is my light. This is the thing that is my gift, to speak life to people, to encourage people, to find language and diction and words for our experiences, you know, primary experiences that make us human and that connect us all to each other. This is the light that I bring into every room that I walk into. So I've always known that I wanted to do this. This is like obvious for me. I've always known that I wanted to do this. I've always known I want a podcast. But one of the things that made it so difficult for me to pursue and to start was because I I don't know if was self-aware enough. Never mind self awareness. I don't know if I was selfish enough to start because I do think that pursuing a dream takes a certain level of selfishness because a lot of people are going to tell you you don't deserve it. Not you. You don't have the same, you don't have what it takes, the qualifications. You don't look a certain way, you don't fit the category, you're not the perfect person for this. And it takes a little bit of literally shutting those voices down, literally closing yourself in and looking within and saying, hey, I'm going to selfishly take that leap. I'm going to bet on myself when everybody else is saying, I wouldn't bet on you. I don't think we should bet on you. But really saying, hey, I'm going to selfishly pursue my dreams. There are people who are going to look at your life story, some of your mistakes, some of your moments that are not your proudest moments, and they're going to say, who the hell do you think you are to be brave enough to pursue something? Who the hell do you think you are to think that you deserve success and you deserve a good ending and you deserve a second chance? And who the hell do you think you are? And it really takes a level of selfishness to truly, truly have the courage to pursue your dreams. So I'm titling this episode So Selfish because without a little bit of selfishness, I get the audacity, I get the creativity, I get everything else that makes me who I am, that has brought me here. I get the faith. But the cherry on top of all of that was just a little bit of selfishness to say, I'm going to grab this moment for myself. I'm going to create this for myself. I'm going to bring this dream to life for myself. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. A little bit of selfishness. You know, when everybody says you don't deserve it, when it doesn't make sense to everybody, for you to just selfishly say, hey, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for the little girl in me. I'm doing it for the future me. I'm doing it for all the times when, man, I believed and I believed alone and nobody else saw it and nobody else believed in it, but I believed in it, you know? So I think that's what it is for me today. I think that's what I'd love to lay as the foundation for the second season of Floor 27, that let's do it and let's do it selfishly. It will not hurt you to indulge in a little bit of selfishness. In fact, selfishness as a young black woman will help you deconstruct all of the limiting beliefs that we were raised with that make us believe that everybody comes before us. And I think on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. I really I really don't want to make today's episode too long because I'm actually just so excited. I'm so excited that I literally want to switch the camera off and just pray and just praise God for the space. But before I do that, I just want to invite you to where I am, which is a place of selfishness. I've really taken the time to look at Usihle in the mirror and say, hey, listen, you deserve it. I'm doing it for you. You deserve it. And that's literally it. That's literally my message to you is that start, start. Make today your day one. Start. Make today your day one. Make today the first day where you actually say, hey, I believe in you. Regardless of what anybody else has to say, regardless of what anybody else thinks of you, I believe in you because the light that you have that is burning within you, there are rooms that are calling you that you need to go and light up. And I am going to say that I don't think that we're born to light up every room. I don't necessarily think that is that's humanly possible. In fact, I think that some rooms will even dim your light, but the rooms that are truly yours, the rooms that you are truly called to light up, they are waiting for you. They are calling out your name. And man, you deserve it to give it to yourself, to give that moment to yourself, to give that privilege to yourself, to be able to see yourself truly light up a room and encourage people and change people's lives and do something with your life that's going to matter to you, that's going to bring you to a place of feeling well, and feeling like, hey, I lived and I lived well. I did good, I was just before I close it up, I was actually recently just talking to my mom about the idea of being a co-creator with God, I think a lot of the time how we're taught and indoctrinated and how we're taught to believe is that God has this master plan for us, and in order for you to live within the plan of God, you have to neglect yourself completely. You have to let go of yourself completely and reject yourself completely, all in the pursuit of what He has in store for you. But there's something deep within me that has been wanting something different, that has been yearning for something different, that I definitely believe in the depths of my soul that God has prosperous and beautiful plans for me. But in the midst of that, I also believe that He is curious about what it is that is happening in my mind. He is, I, I don't have the evidence for this, but I definitely believe that He wouldn't create me to be such a complex being that is able to think, that is able to perceive, that is able to dream, that is able to research, to analyze, to have ideas, only for me to neglect and abandon all of that and blindly only pursue a mysterious plan that He set in motion before the beginning of time. Yes, I definitely do believe He's got amazing plans for me, but I do think that He has called us to be co-creators. And even in me being able to be a co-creator with God when it comes to my dreams and my purpose, it has taken a certain level of selfishness. Like I've had to take the time to study me, to get to know this woman, this being that God has created within me, and to interrogate how she thinks, to interrogate the things that she wants, to interrogate her dreams, and to reach within my mind and my heart and find all the answers to the questions that are burning in my soul. And when I find those answers of who am I, what do I want to do in the world, how do I want to impact the world, what do I want to leave behind, what kind of life do I want to live for myself, and when I've been able to define all of those things for myself, to then be able to turn to God and say, hey, will you now partner with me in making all of these things possible? So I've been exploring that as well, that God perhaps is not just a puppet master who's requiring for me to reject myself completely in order for Him to be able to partner up with me, that He actually really wants me to look within myself and find myself and get to know myself and then bring myself to Him and say, hey, this is what I bring to the table. And He brings His mind and His love and His grace and His mercy. And then together we co-create, we partner up, and this is what this platform is. This is what this is, the realization of a dream. This is what partnering up with God looks like, when you reach within yourself and you find the answers to the questions that are burning in your soul, and you bring those answers to God and you say, hey, this is what I have, what do you have, and like I said, it's just that it all boils down to a little bit of selfishness, because I've had to deconstruct the ideas that the world gave me of who God is, and find him for myself, and find me for myself. And it's all of this has just been for myself. Even to think of how I've decided to film this podcast, I don't know anybody else who's doing this. I don't know anybody else who's doing a traveling podcast, who shoots anywhere that they want, who uses literally the whole planet at this point is my canvas. Like, my dream is to one day shoot in New York. One day I'm going to shoot in Singapore. One day I'm going to shoot in Kenya. One day I'm going to shoot in Congo. One day I'm going to go shoot in Bumalang. I'm going to go shoot in Durban. I'm going to shoot in the most beautiful places all over the world, and write a beautiful story through this podcast, speaking life to you, encouraging you, and just chasing my dream and becoming the material evidence that it is possible, that it really is possible, And all of this just takes a little bit of selfishness, just doing it for me. I want it for me, and I'm doing it for me, nobody else, nothing else, But I hope that in you watching me realize this for myself and do this for myself, you are encouraged when it comes to whatever it is that you want for yourself, to pursue it, to go after it, to live it out, to bet on yourself, to believe, But on that note, we are gonna wrap it up for today. I'll see you again next week on next week's episode. I'm super excited. I'm actually really, really excited. But yeah, I'll see you again next week on next week's episode, and we'll chat it up again. Thank you so much again to my community and everybody who supported me up until this point. And I'm so excited to keep going. It was at this exact moment when, for some reason, my camera stopped recording. But fortunately, this technical glitch happened when I was saying goodbye and I was done recording the episode. Thank you so much for watching. It is such a humbling experience to live in your dream. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you again next week for episode 2 of season 2.